With everything Donald Trump has done in regards to handling the conflict in the Middle East, the fact that he's managed to literally get peace deals between Israel, the UAE, that to me is something that's very impressive. And I'm not downplaying it, but I mean, it's impressive in the sense that he's a president who is actually trying to get us out of these conflicts, is trying to establish peace in these regions where many of these past presidents, both Republican and Democrat, this is not a video about bashing the one party in particular. Because again, the past Republicans have also been responsible for getting us into conflicts that we had no business in, mind you. At least in my opinion. But Donald Trump has actually made a huge effort into getting us out of these conflicts. He because of his efforts, he's been nominated. He's been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize twice within the same week, mind you, for his efforts in establishing peace in the Middle East between Israel, etc. And I think to some degree, I could say it's going to be very hard for Donald Trump to lose my vote at this point. I'm very anti-war in terms of I do not think we should be getting in conflicts that we have no business in unless we are directly attacked. Now, do I believe we should have a strong military? Yes, I really think we do. For defensive purposes, of course. But I'm not the kind of person who likes sending our troops, let's say Yemen or Saudi Arabia or Iran or Iraq, for conflicts that don't directly affect us. Like I said, directly. Now people would say, well, if we disappoint our allies in these regions, they could side with the enemy. Okay, sure, that's a point that I'm willing to listen to. But unless we are directly attacked by these individuals, by these countries, I do not see a valid reason why we should be over there. But like I said, I am a huge supporter of having a strong military because I do recognize that there's enemies out there who, even though they might act like our allies now, they might be the ones who have the who literally have their knives behind their back and literally waiting for us to lower our guard so they can just stab us. There are countries out there who do things like that. And I'm certainly not a fan right now of decreasing our military strength, particularly with the threat that China poses right now. But Donald Trump, like I said, very impressive. Very impressive to see an actual politician who is trying to do his best to put an end to these endless wars in these areas. The Democrats, however, for some reason, they're against this. I don't know why. Now, granted, obviously I know why, because everything that Trump does, they have to do the opposite. But there was a time when Democrats were saying we need to put an end to these wars. When when Bush was in office, Bush, little Bush, not Papa Bush, but little Bush. When little Bush was actually in office, the Democrats were saying, "Get us out of these wars! Get us out of these wars!" A lot of people were saying, Get us out of these wars." Obama said, "We're going to get you out of these wars." And what happened a few months in office? The guy's already bombing villages. I'm thinking to myself, "Whoa, man! I thought you said you want to end these things, not provoke more of them." But hence, that's why they called him Obama, because he literally dropped a bunch of bombs. They also call him the deporter in chief because he deported more illegal immigrants than Donald Trump. That's how you know. A little tangent. So good on Donald Trump. Again, Democrats, you want this centrist vote? Do you really want? If you really want this fence sitters vote, I gotta do a lot better to win my vote. Because I'm a person who supports having a strong military, but also is in favor of getting us out of these endless conflicts in the Middle East and also in many of these other regions. I do not think American soldiers should be dying for conflicts they had nothing to do with. So again, Democrats, you want my vote? End the war. Establish peace in areas of conflict. You do that, maybe I will consider voting for you. Of course, you're gonna have to get rid of all the woke stuff and all the systemic racism BS. But if you really want me to consider you for a vote, do one of those things. But again, I'll consider it. Not it isn't a certainty. It isn't a certainty. For Donald Trump, man, I gotta say, thank you, Mr. President. You, sir, if anyone is deserving of the Nobel Peace Prize, it is you, Mr. President. Also, Martin Luther King Jr., because he did get the Nobel Peace Prize, which is very deserving for Martin Luther King Jr. But if anyone of our generation, of our times, right? Of this century. I'm sorry, of this century. Yeah, 2000. Yeah, I'm sorry, 2000. Of this century, for that matter. If anyone is worthy of the Nobel Peace Prize of this century, it should go to Trump. Donald Trump deserves it. Obama got one. He didn't do anything. In fact, he actually created more conflict than peace. But if anyone deserves it of this century, definitely Trump. The guy has done a lot of good things, man. This guy deserves it. Let's read a little bit of the story. Donald Trump hails dawn of a new Middle East as leaders of Israel, the UAE, and Bahrain, I think it's pronounced Bahrain, signed peace deal at the White House and says he believes Saudi Arabia will also recognize Israel. Man, Donald Trump. Wow. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that this was possible? Well, when you have Donald Trump, anything is possible. I mean, I remember there was a time people were literally saying the American dream is to be Donald Trump. Donald Trump had it all, dude. The guy was on everything. TV shows, he had cameos. He had a cameo on Little Rascals. He had a cameo on Home Alone 2. I mean, in one of my favorite films from Keanu Reeves, Devil's Advocate, even though Donald Trump doesn't show up in the film, he is mentioned at the party at the gala, right? In the film, they say that Donald Trump was supposed to be here, but apparently he was stuck with some business affairs, right? The guy was everywhere. The American dream was to be Donald Trump. But somewhere along the line, they said, nope, Donald Trump is racist, even though he literally helped the black community, especially during his younger years, right? There's even a picture of Muhammad Ali and Rosa Parks alongside Donald Trump. So, kind of weird. But again, we all know why they started going after him. We all know this. Let's keep going. President Donald Trump on Tuesday hailed the dawn of a new Middle East when he presided over the signing of historic diplomatic deals between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, in a deal designed to boost his reputation as a statesman. We're here this afternoon to change the course of history. The decades of division and conflict will mark up the dawn of a new Middle East. Thanks to the great courage of the leaders of these three countries, we take a major stride toward a future in which people of all faiths and backgrounds live together in peace and prosperity, Trump said in his remarks. The president said more nations will follow suit in signing the accord that normalizes relations between the Jewish state and the Arab nations. Later in the day, as he left the White House to travel to Philadelphia, he said he believes Saudi Arabia would too. These agreements prove that the nations of the region are breaking free from the failed approaches of the past. Today's signing sets history on a new course, and there will be other countries very, very soon that will follow these great leaders, the president said. Trump emphasized the historic nature of the agreement. Today the world sees that they're choosing cooperation over conflict, friendship over enmity, prosperity over poverty, and hope over despair. They are choosing a future in which Arabs and Israeli Muslims, Jews and Christians can live together, pray together, and dream together, side by side in harmony, community, and peace, he said. Very, very good words, Mr. President. Very, very good words. Earlier, he described it as this is peace in the Middle East without blood all over the sand. And that is what I like to see. Now, granted, I am not an idealist. I tend to be more of a realist. But I prefer peace without bloodshed. I prefer solving a conflict without resorting to violence. Now, granted, I am also the person who is willing to recognize when violence is the only answer. Right? Again, let's go with the Revolutionary War of our country. When our founding fathers did everything they could to set up compromises, they try to say, let us send people to represent us in Parliament. Britain said no. Right? They said repeal these taxes. Britain said no. So these people, our founding fathers said, fine. We tried the peaceful way, it didn't work. The only option left is violence, and we're going to do it. They did it, and we won. Like I said, I'm not an idealist. I'm not those kind of people who say, we peace, bro, peace. We need to be singing together, kumbaya, and holding hands in a circle, and yada yada yada. I'm not an idealist. I'm a realist. I would prefer peace through diplomacy, through having talks and conversations. But if there's no other way, I recognize that sometimes we need to establish peace by getting rid of the people who's causing the problem, right? But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think Donald Trump is doing good by actually in his efforts, right? Do you think he's doing good in his efforts in establishing peace between these nations, specifically in the Middle East? Do you think Donald Trump is deserving of the Nobel Peace Prize? Do you think that Donald Trump is going to continue to establish peace in other countries if he's elected for a second term? And do you think the Democrats are being hypocritical that they're now against peace in the Middle East, even though under Obama they were saying, we need to bring peace. Even under Bush, they were saying we need to get out of these wars. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Stay safe. Sleep well. I'll see you guys at a later time.